All right, joining us now, we've got members of both Alamogordo boys and girls soccer. They're getting ready for a youth camp coming up next week, which will be both boys and girls. And we have Coach Rudy Barbosa and new boys varsity coach Andrez Montoya. Rudy, how are you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Charles?
Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Andrez?
Oh, very happy to be here.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations on the job. We'll chat about that a little bit. Rudy, if you want to introduce the ladies that you brought with you today.
Sure. Today I brought Gabi Sandoval. She plays midfield for us. We brought Shawna Fato Williams, who plays striker for us, and Janae Shaklee, who also plays in midfield for us.
All right. Andrez, and who'd you bring with you from the boys'
Oh,
team?
we have the man, the myth, the legend, Lucas Burch here with us. Holding down the midfield as always. These two boys have been a big part of our program, and right next to him is Ezra Cadwallader, holding down the defense this year going forward. So It's going to be a spectacular year.
Are both these guys seniors this year now?
Are we seniors? Did we pass?
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Good, because we're eligible, right? Fantastic.
Hard to believe Lucas is a senior. I feel like we've been talking about Lucas for a long time now, so it's hard to believe. Well, we first want to start off with you guys have a youth camp coming up next week, and you've been doing this for a couple years now. Coach Barbosa, it's an opportunity for these kids to get involved with the younger kids. So you have the players that will be involved with this with you guys, right?
Yeah, they'll be volunteering there and helping us out. I mean. It's bigger than it has. It was a Lady Tigers camp in the previous couple of years, but this year we opened it to the boys so we could get more participation and more bodies out there, and I think it's a more successful camp. It'll be a better camp, I think.
Yeah. Coach Montoya, I mean, you've been involved with the Otero County Youth Soccer League for the last few years among being with Alamogordo Tiger Soccer. And, these youth camps, I know there's a lot of folks that have kids that, are really participating in soccer throughout our area.
Well, it's key to spike the interest in the area. Of course, we've got a lot of spectacular athletes who all started with OCYSL and have grown through the ranks with club teams and obviously have done well for both of our programs. So it's important for these guys to give back and us as coaches to make sure we know who's coming up. It's really key. One thing to mention that last year Rudy did this by himself, so obviously adding the boys coaches. We did it at Tiger Stadium, and we are going back to Tiger Stadium. So for those who didn't hear, we are not at Steinhoff next week. We'll be at the beautiful turf of Tiger Stadium. 50 kids registered so far. We want to see that number grow, so...
And if
you guys are listening,
best way to get in contact with you guys, I know there's a couple Facebook pages and everything that has the information, but if somebody's interested in the camp, where should they go?
Well, obviously Facebook, Lady Tiger Soccer page, Alamogordo Tiger Soccer page. If you don't have Facebook, go to or just Google Otero County Youth Soccer League. You can find the links to register online. You can pay all credit card. We can do cash the day of. Show up Monday afternoon. Let us know, and we'll get you guys in. All the camp kids get a free T-shirt. And they get to see all these guys show off their skills. So it's going to be a fantastic week of soccer.
That's right. Rudy, I mean, you've worked with the youth of this area for such a long time through select teams and through the OCYSL and various things. How important are youth camps like this? And if anything, is it just for something fun for these kids to come out and enjoy?
Oh, extremely important. And then, we have it set in our minds that these kids need to walk away from our camps with something they can take back to their leagues, to their teams, something they can work on to get better. That it's going to be something that's productive for them.
Yeah. What are some of the key things that you like to teach throughout the camp? Maybe if somebody's on the fence about it, what are some of the things you teach throughout the camp?
Well, at first it begins to be sort of generalized, and we begin with fundamentals and stuff that, not every coach out there that's in the OCYSL is maybe they're in it coaching because they're kid or shortage of coaches. So not everybody has that background to coach or the background to have played soccer, but they're willing to do it as a volunteer for the team not to fold, or they need somebody. But we come on board and we're going to try and teach them correct ways to do it. Then we ask some of the kids, well, what position you play? And then we try to steer them in that way and how we can help them once they leave our camp, something that they can take into their team, into their future.
All right. Well, we certainly look forward to seeing what happens there. Again, that's next week, 24th through the 28th, so it runs the entire week, and get the kiddos here involved in the area. Well, certainly some kids, I'm sure, that were involved in youth camps as they were younger, not that long ago, even though we've got some kids that are getting up there in class. Well, Lucas, I know you're excited to be the first one to start, but you're right there. Go ahead and pull the mic a little bit closer to you or lean towards it.
He's still nervous. Come on.
First off, can you believe it's your senior year?
No, it's honestly crazy. I mean, I've been in the program for a while, but still, it's nuts to be on my final year.
Yeah. Are you going to volunteer and get out with the program and do some of the youth camp stuff coming up next week?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be here for all the events.
Have you worked with younger kids before with soccer? I mean, is that something you've had a chance to do before?
Yeah, I've helped my relatives and close friends with their teams and their kids, and it's something I do pretty often. I get.
What's your favorite part of working with younger? I mean, obviously you've built your skill set and you've learned from older people throughout your time. What do you enjoy the most about maybe teaching somebody something new with soccer?
Well, it's nice to see the kids develop in the program and in the sport, because soccer is not really popular in the U.S. as a whole, especially not in Alamogordo. So to see people carrying on the sport and the program, it's nice to see them develop.
Okay. Man, you did a great job. We'll slide it over there to Ezra. Slide the mic over there to your partner over there, Ezra. I mean, were you active in a lot when you were younger? Did you do a lot of youth camps and get involved with that stuff?
Not really. I didn't do a lot of the camps and stuff. I played in the league for a long time, the county league.
Okay. For a while. Have you got involved with the youth camp previously?
Yeah, I think I volunteered last year for it for a little bit, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was fun to see the kids and see the energy that they bring.
Yeah. I mean, is it something about? Do you learn a little bit? I think we've had players from basketball and football talk about working with the kids. Do you learn a bit, see through coaches' eyes a little bit when you're out there?
Yeah, definitely. I see, kind of the way that drills work and the way they see it versus how I see it as a player.
Yeah, and makes it, maybe when they're yelling at you from the sideline, you understand a little bit more.
Yeah. Even
though we don't want that happening, but still. And we've got Gabi Sandoval from the girls' team. Have you been involved with the youth camp previously? Or?
Yes, I did help last year.
Okay. And what do you like most about getting out there with the kids?
I don't know. I think I just like watching the little kids and watch them as they're learning the sport and just seeing how cute they are trying to kick the ball around.
And the same question, does it kind of help you view what maybe coach is looking for when you get out there playing yourself?
Yeah, I can see why Rudy's so hard on us, and it makes us, I can see it through his eyes now, helping the little ones and stuff.
Yeah, see it from outside, from a different perspective, yeah. Shawna, for you, is this something you've had a chance to be involved with before? Or?
Yeah, last year I went out and volunteered and helped with the little kids.
Yeah, and you, you've been playing soccer since what age?
Just 5, 6.
So did you get a chance to do these kind of things and maybe learn from that a little bit, or were you mostly playing on teams?
No, I just played with Rudy, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay. And we got Janae over here as well. Slide her in on the mic. Have you gotten to do some of the youth camp stuff previously, or?
Yeah, I did. I helped last year.
Last year. And what was your favorite part about getting out there with the little kids?
I just love seeing their passion for when they learn something new and they're able to do it and just show their friends and stuff like that.
All right. Coaches, when you hear that about these guys and gals wanting to get out there involved with the younger people here in our area, Rudy, you like to hear that from your players?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was started because, again, Andrez was on the other side working with OCYSL, and he and I would work very closely in putting something like this together, because it used to be Brazilian camp that would come, an English camp that would come.
I think it was Challenger Sports that used to come into town, and it was pretty high priced.
Other ones, and it was high priced. And when I pitched the idea to him, he jumped on it and he helped me, and
yeah,
it's been a success. And it's been growing. The first time we had maybe 24 kids, I think, and then, and then we almost doubled it the second time, and now
we expect some big numbers next week. Like I said, we're close to 50. Hopefully we get closer to 75 by the time we start camp next week. I will add that it makes us both very proud to be a part of something in our community that maybe a lot of people hadn't had the opportunity in the past. We're sitting here talking with some spectacular athletes in both of our programs, and for them to say, hey, we've never done youth camps before. It's not that they didn't help us coach maybe in the past couple of years, but as a child, they didn't have that opportunity. And whether it was because of cost or it just wasn't offered at the time, it's really exciting for us to see that we can give something back to our community. And then they get to see the players. Yeah. It's pretty cool when my 3-year-old knows Ezra, and every time he says, oh, I know that guy. Especially when he goes to games and sees him do something great, he's super proud of him. He's like, he knows me. I know him. It's great. So it's really something that we want to see continue in our community. We'll both drive for that participation in our programs going forward.
Yeah. And all 5 of you played OCYSL soccer? everybody here. So, I mean, that's another thing that everybody has, graduated from that program, and you all have seen them before in that place. So, if it's not the youth camps, I mean, the amount of kids that come out of the youth programs in our area, that's a big thing for you to see, right, Rudy?
Oh, absolutely, yes. It's and this spring I went back to actually coaching U12.
U12.
Yeah, U12 league team for the same reason, because I do miss it. I do missing with them. It's more coaching. With youngers, it's more teaching.
Yeah,
and that's what I enjoy. When they learn, and in a camp, that's what they're there for. We're not coaching them. We're going to be teaching them, and I think that excites me.
And on top of that, there's not a lot to do in the summer. I heard we had a parent call yesterday, said, all I've got is swim lessons this summer. So, they're excited to come to camp, excited to see that we're offering something else. And if you compare our camp to what Mayfield's putting on or Centennial, they're doing 3-day camps, 2 hours or an hour and a half sessions. We're giving you 5 days at the same price that they are. So it's actually pretty fantastic. You're going to get a lot of instruction, a lot of one-on-one time, because we're going to have a lot of these athletes out there. And like they said, it's exciting when they learn a new skill or learn, hey, I didn't know how to juggle before today. And, one of these guys can show them. It's fantastic. They'll be a hero forever.
There you go. And it should also be mentioned as well. I mean, this is one of the many fundraisers that you guys have for your program, and I've said it many times. It costs a lot of money to put on a varsity program, a JV program throughout the year. So this is important for you guys from that standpoint as well, right?
Yes, it is. And we get very limited opportunities to raise money for our programs, and when we get a chance, we'd like to see that participation grow. So for them. Yeah. It's for them.
Yeah, and I mean that's worth pointing out that this is giving back to the program and giving back to these kids so they can compete well this year. Well, first I'd ask what you guys have been up to. If you've been doing any soccer stuff so far this summer, Janae. I mean, have you been out there doing like 3v3 or anything like that so far this summer? Or?
This summer I've done a lot of futsal in Las Cruces with like 3 different leagues. So just a lot of that.
And how does that help you when you get around to the varsity season? I mean, getting to play during the summer, is that a huge thing for you?
Yeah, it helps me retain my my touch on the ball and just keep my skills so that when I get back to the high school league, I don't have to start from scratch and I'm just ready.
Yeah, and you've obviously been busy during the spring season with track and field. You'll be doing. Are you going to do cross country and soccer again this spring or this fall?
Yes.
Does that? I mean, that challenge seems to hasn't bothered a few of the athletes that have done that over the years. Are you excited about doing that again this year?
Yeah, I'm really excited because soccer just kind of gets us into that conditioning for it anyway, and it's just fun to do both.
Okay, very good. Shawna, what have you been up to with soccer stuff this summer?
Did a lot of futsal. We went to El Paso a few times to play some tournaments and games. But other than that, really nothing.
Okay. And
yeah, you've done a lot of ID camps, so don't lie.
Oh yeah, I have done a lot of ID camps.
Yeah, a lot of ID camps.
Now, you got to tell me what are ID camps?
Well, they're mainly just camps to go and get seen by college coaches because they don't really go to our games and sit in the stands anymore. So it's just to really get your name out there and to get seen.
Okay. And those been good experiences for you?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Gabby, how about you?
Well, I guess we all kind of play together, so my answer is going to be the same. Yeah. We've been going to playing futsal in Las Cruces, and we were in El Paso a couple weekends.
Okay. And what do you like best about going and competing in that league throughout the summertime?
I like it because it just keeps my touches on the ball, so that way when July comes, I don't have so much rust I need to knock off.
Yeah. Well, and you're going to be busy as well. Are you going to be doing cross country again?
Yes.
And in the fall? All right. It keeps you busy for sure. And track and field, I'm sure, coming up in the spring?
Yes.
Okay. Swinging over here to Ezra. And what have you been up to so far this summer with any soccer stuff?
Yeah, we do the futsal league in Cruces. We have a couple teams, and some of us will get together and we'll go play in the hockey rink over by Washington. We do that a lot too, actually.
Okay. What do you get out of going down to El Paso? I mean, is it just get opportunity to play with your friends, or I mean, what's your favorite part about doing that?
Just staying in the rhythm of keeping my touch and getting in a competitive place where I don't lose that kind of edge that you need when you return to playing high school and varsity.
Yeah. Do you see some pretty good players when you get to go down there?
Yeah, the Cruces League is a really good spot to see a lot of good players. You see a lot of good competition, so it keeps me on my toes.
All right. Lucas, how about you? What have you done so far throughout the summer? You can just you can grab the one right there. There you go. We're, by the way, if you can't see, we're one mic short, so we've been sliding mics back and forth here. Go ahead, Lucas. What have you been doing so far?
Like everyone else, I've been in the same futsal leagues, and that's helped a lot. And then bouncing around from various club teams in Las Cruces and then Albuquerque as well. So just staying with soccer as much as possible, playing as much as possible.
And, I mean, obviously with some of the club teams and various things, you get to see some players from around the area. Is that kind of a cool thing to get to see them before, the varsity season rolls around?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, like, in Albuquerque, I got to play against a few Cleveland kids, La Cueva kids. And so those are kids we haven't seen play in quite some time, haven't got to play them in a while. So it opens you up to a lot of new competition and gives you a little edge for the season, I guess.
All right. Rudy, I mean, for how important do you find it for the kids to be out there with the futsal league and doing those various things around the area? Or
Man.
Apparently this was a different response than I was anticipating.
So I'll chime in real quick. It's important for us both to see that the kids are continuing to play soccer.
Yeah.
To build a successful program, the season's only 3 or 4 months, but it's important that they play year round.
Yeah.
But I know Rudy and I have tried to do a few other things this spring, and it can be difficult at times.
And in reality, sometimes it's very hard because they're teenagers, right? And they've got so many influences. And Lucas is here to vouch for what I say. When I had them when they were little, I would tell them, as you grow up, there's a lot of influences now that are going to start to pull you away from the game.
Yeah.
Champions aren't made in the season.
Yeah.
Champions are made in the off season. And so Andrez and I mean, we call each other quite often. I'm like, oh my God, man! These girls, man, I need them out there, and it can't be just 4 or 5, or 6. And then the reason these girls are here is because I've seen their work ethic during the summer, and these boys too. I see them, I catch them in Las Cruces as well, and that's what you need for a program to be successful. That's what you need. If you become a seasonal player, then you're very limited, or by the time you play catch up, it's gone. The season's out of hand, So yeah, him and I, we talk all the time about that, and that's the one thing I try to stress to my girls and to any athlete. You want to be that better player, then it's in the off season that you become that better player.
No.
Not in season. In season, you're just there to execute what you've been doing.
Well, and you guys obviously have your conditioning that comes up throughout the month of July. I know it's not quite the same as getting out there and actually getting to play games throughout the summer, but it at least gives a little bit of a head start heading into the start of the season, right?
Yeah, but that is great. But again, those are voluntary,
right?
So they gotta if they've got a job that's pulling them away, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's pulling them away, there's really nothing we can do until the official day starts.
Yeah.
So it's really on them, and it's always has been on them. On an athlete, it's.
And they're young adults. It's part of becoming an adult, right? So you've got to have some onus. You got to own up to it and have commitment to your teammates and all those around you. So for those who don't know, we haven't talked about it yet. July 8th starts voluntary and conditioning for both programs. We're going to go a little earlier this year, so we're going to start at 6 a.m. till 7:30 Monday through Friday, and then the evening session will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I think Rudy's slightly different.
We'll be starting at 7 to 9, and then in the evening, same 6 to 8.
And this is for JV and varsity kids come. So that would be 8th grade on up that can come out and work out with you guys.
Yeah, we're very lucky in Alamogordo. We can pull from those 8th grade kids. So anybody who's going into the 8th grade, make sure you have your physical before July 8th, and you can come participate. So that's important for all these guys. I hope you all have your physicals done, right? Yes, north and south. Yes.
I actually talk about it on the radio show a lot. I was like, if you want to make your kids coach happy, make sure your physical is done before the start of the season, because that's the biggest gripe I usually hear from fall sports coaches is they didn't have their physical done. So, well, just to kind of finish things off, season's obviously still a month or so away. Lucas, I mean, what are you most excited about heading into the new season? Because you guys are obviously going to have a little bit of a turnaround. You got a lot of guys that graduated from last year, so it'll change up. What has you most excited for the new year?
Honestly, I'm just excited for the challenge, because we've lost a lot of people, a lot of key players, and so it's going to be on our senior class to pick it up and to do the best that we can to help these young kids coming in to develop and to to develop quick, because varsity versus JV is a huge transition, but I think a lot of the kids coming in are up for it, and with guidance from our new coach Andrez and a lot of the kids in the program, I think we'll put up a good fight and we'll surprise a lot of people this season.
All right, Ezra. I mean, not that you haven't been a leader in previous years, not being a senior, but you look like maybe you're going to be looked to a little bit more this season. Are you excited about that opportunity?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good opportunity for to kind of pass down what I've learned. I've learned a lot from the people that have come up from me, and I think that the experiences, I can pass down the experiences and the things that I've learned and kind of guide the next generation to the future, I guess.
Yeah, Ezra has a lot of experience with yellow cards, so we're going to make sure we're not doing that
limit those this year. Okay.
He doesn't want to talk on the mic anymore. Go ahead, pass it down to Gabi.
Gabi, I mean, the girls' team has you had a few that graduated, obviously were important to the team, but you have a lot returning from last year. What is you most excited about the upcoming season?
I'm excited to see us all back together because we've all been kind of playing together for a little bit, but I'm excited just to get back together and play some high school teams again.
Yeah. Shawna, is there a goal number that you're shooting for this year, or you just want to get out there and play?
I just want to get out back on the field, just do what we got to do.
If the goals come, they come.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't.
Well, Rudy certainly, I'm sure, wants the goals to happen. Yeah. But if they don't,
just win overall.
Yes, if they're not your goals, so as long as they're someone's goals. Gotcha. Janae, how about you? What has you most excited about playing with these ladies again this season?
I'm just excited to come back with this young team that we've been playing with for a while to just be able to show what we got, because we're starting to become juniors and sophomores. Just show what we got and be able to play competitively.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly chat again about what the upcoming season looks like when we get a little bit closer from you guys. I'm sure you'll have more to say as we get closer to the season. So, guys, really appreciate you coming in. Thanks for the time. And again, youth camp starts on the 24th. That's next Monday. Runs all through next week and very affordable. Go ahead, Andrez.
I just want to go ahead and chime in. Aside from the youth camp, we are holding our first 5K fundraiser July 6th. So it is actually before we start our voluntaries. We kind of looked at the calendar and there wasn't anything going on 4th of July, and we kind of thought that would be a good fit. So you can find that information on our Facebook page. Of course, Otero County Youth Soccer's website will have registration information, active.com. We're going to be doing that at Tiger Stadium as well. So about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a nice road course. You can find all that information online as well. And we'll finish in the stadium, music playing. It should be a good time. And this is the first time we've done this. I've copied from Coach Giggler and Cross Country's model, because he has a very successful one in September, so make sure you guys support that as well. But he promised to send his cross country kids to us if we go run his, so we're gonna make sure we support each program. So July 6th, Tiger Stadium, 5K fun run. Begins at 8 o'clock in the morning. Make sure you guys pre-register online.
And you guys have a 3v3 coming up too, right?
July 20th, yes. Okay. Registration's way down for that, so we got to ramp that up a little bit. But July 20th, we'll be hosting our own. We're doing away with 3v3 Live. Their cost was a little high, and they didn't quite have the weekend that we had available. So we're going to do our best to host another evening 3v3 at Reiner Steinhoff July 20th.
Okay, very good. All right, thanks everybody. You guys enjoy the rest of your summer, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles.